Hello everyone, it's your favorite realtor, Erica Hernandez. I hope you had a fantastic weekend and a great start to your week. Today is Monday, and as usual, I'm going to be making a video of topics that most of my clients are super interested in. Today, I'm going to address the question, what is the difference between purchasing a new home and a resale home? If you would like to learn more about this answer, please stay tuned. Don't forget to follow me on social media at erikahoustonrealtor on Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram. I'd love for you to follow me, and I'd love to follow you back as always. I don't want to waste your time, so let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so often I get asked this question, what is the difference between purchasing a resale home, which is a home that has been used, or purchasing a new home? And there are a lot of advantages to buying either one of these, but I'm going to address just a few things that may help you make a decision on what you would like to purchase, a new home or a resale home. Okay, so let's get started. Buying a new home is probably one of my favorites, only because you get to be the first one that lives in it and no one has ever lived in it, which is great, and you get to do whatever you want to the home. With a new home, you have several options. You can purchase a home that has already been built, and a lot of times we call that an inventory home. You get to walk it, you get to see everything inside, the layout, and all those good things. The other thing you could do with the new home is build it yourself. And I'm not saying you're going to go out and build it, but you get to choose the layout that you like, the finishes that you love, and overall the lot, all these things you get to pick, and so that part is really exciting. So the first thing is, with new homes, no one has lived on the property, which I think is really exciting. I would say it's kind of like buying a new car. Except when you buy a new car, the value just goes down right away. They say when you drive off the lot, the value goes down. It is not the same with a new home. And so buying a new home actually is worth it. In my opinion, is worth it. And so when you do purchase a new home, you are the first one to ever live in it. And that's pretty exciting. So on this topic about having someone who has already lived on it, a lot of times, there's different things you can do. Sometimes when you buy a resale home, they already moved out. They already took all the frames and TVs and everything, and they already patched walls and repainted the whole thing. So it almost feels like a brand new home. And this is great. But then there's also the side where you're buying a home that has been lived in it, and you just kind of end up with a little bit of holes here and there. And for the most part, we try to address that to make sure that the seller patches any holes that they leave behind and retouches any paint that needs to be retouched. It doesn't always happen, but obviously we do try to get that done. A lot of times there are other things that need to be addressed, and so the cosmetic part of it sometimes is left a little behind because we want to focus on things that are mechanical, electrical, so we ask the seller to fix those items. Okay, so the next topic is actually something that's really important, and it is utilities. So when you are purchasing a new home, chances are that builder has installed everything to be the highest efficiency that is available right now on the market. Things like double pane windows, high efficiency HVAC unit, and also think about the radiant barrier roof that they install nowadays, which is really high tech and the newest thing out there. It does help with your utility bills. And so yeah, the topic of purchasing a home that has been used and maybe is a little older compared to a new home, your utility bills will definitely be a lot better with a new home because of those high efficiency things that are in place. And so it doesn't mean that a used home doesn't have them. You just have to make sure. Now, I have seen resale homes that have been flipped, or investors buy them and fix them up, and a lot of times they do a great job. They just don't do the walls and things like that are very cosmetic. They actually go into what actually matters in a home. Things like replacing the windows to be double pane windows, replacing the AC for a newer AC that's more efficient. And so you just have to make sure to see what is happening with that resale home. You're guaranteed with a new home that those things are in place, and so your utility bills will be a lot cheaper with a new home. And I can't say for everyone, it just depends on your use, obviously, but on average I would say that the utility bills are definitely better with the new home because of all the high efficiency things that are in place. Another thing I want to address is actually your homeowner's insurance. A lot of people have this question. So typically, if I am walking a new home with a client, I have my calculator. I can tell you what is an estimated monthly payment for this type of home. I use all the information I have, and I plug in these numbers and give my clients a number to see if they are comfortable with that number. Now, I do the same thing for resale too, so I still have my calculator. When I'm running numbers for a new home, normally I do plug in a lower number for the insurance because you actually do get better quoting for insurance in a new home. And I'll put in that number, and so they tend to be a little bit low. The reason that I do this is because those insurance companies actually give you really great pricing. The builders, when it is a new home, they have a lot of warranties. For sure, I know they have a 1-year warranty on almost everything in your home. Then it trickles down to like a 5-year warranty on certain items, and then a 10-year warranty. I've seen up as high as 15 and 20-year warranties. Those don't happen too often, but I have seen them. And so with all these different warranties you have, you're more likely to go to your builder to see if you can get something fixed on your home than actually going to an insurance carrier. The averages that I plug in, I wouldn't say are super low, but I do tend to quote people on a higher estimate for insurance when we are in a resale home, because it does require a lot of coverage. And then it just kind of gets a little worse with the older homes. The first thing they ask you when you are quoting for an older home is, has the plumbing, electrical, and roof have been replaced? That's the first thing they ask you. And so depending on the answer to that is how much credits you get for them, and your quote could be a lot more expensive depending on the answers you give them. That is the difference between buying a new home and a resale home. Okay, so I have a few more topics. The next one does have to do with your monthly payment. Now, this one is something I tell people to please watch out for, and please get a realtor for this. A lot of times people tell me, oh, if I'm looking for a new home, all I have to do is just go in there and there's a sales rep who can help me. I don't really need a realtor. These people are going to help me. I'm actually going to disagree on that. Yes, they do help you, and yes, they're very friendly. I've met some very friendly sales reps for builders. The thing is that they do not represent you. They represent the seller. So they'll give you information and they'll answer all your questions, but they're not going to hold your hand through the whole process and tell you when something doesn't look right. And so I always say, make sure you have a realtor, guys. You do not pay the realtor. The seller always pays the realtor. In most cases, obviously, the builders do pay for our commissions. We are working for you for free, so why not have someone by your side who's going to be representing you? Realtors, we are licensed, rules that we have to abide by in order to help the consumer and to protect the consumer's best interest. The reason I bring this up is because the difference in monthly payment from a resale home and a new home can be very different. I've always heard people tell me this. Don't buy a new home because then taxes are going to go up and your payment just kind of doubles, and it's really scary. And it happened to one of my friends. They were in the first year, and then the second year their mortgage payment went up by a whole lot, and probably it was because they didn't have a realtor who explained that to them. So the good thing about working with a realtor like myself is that I actually go in there and look at all your closing documents to make sure everything looks right to me. Now, often this does happen, and I think for the most part it is explained to the consumer, but they get a little bit confused, or maybe it's not being explained. Often I've seen you're about to close and you are disclosed your last statement, which says exactly what your payment is going to be every month, and it says how much they're escrowing for taxes and things like that. And something I want to point out is that sometimes I have seen where the buyer is being charged a monthly payment, but it only reflects escrowing taxes on the land. Normally the taxing authority does not put the value of the home until it's sold, and so you won't see that reflected until the following year. For example, you're about to close and you see this $1,000 monthly payment, everything included, and it sounds great and you're just so excited, you just want to sign and get it over with. Guys, when something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. You cannot buy, for example, a house for $200,000 and your monthly payment is $1,000. That's just impossible. And so a lot of people, they're just like, oh, I love this payment, this is great, wow, I got a really great deal. But really what's happening is they're only escrowing for the land value. Once it's reported that you purchased the property and they give you the value of your home, your taxes are going to go up. And so now you're really going to have to pay taxes on the actual value of the home. This could essentially double your payment. So I always tell people, make sure you're looking at your closing documents. Make sure you are escrowing enough money for your taxes. For me, this is a big one, a big difference. The big difference between resale and new homes And obviously, you just need a realtor, either one. If you're buying a new home or a resale home, make sure you get a realtor who's going to sit down and explain it. Make sure that you're using a lender, which is a bank who's letting you borrow the money. Make sure that that loan officer is explaining everything. Don't ever feel like you're asking too many questions. This is their job. This is our job to explain to you. Make sure that you're asking questions. Hey, wait a minute, this sounds a little too good to be true. And sometimes we're tempted to not say anything because you're kind of like, oh, well, I mean, this is a great deal. I like this. I love this payment. This is a great deal. I'm not going to say anything because I like this number. But I don't think it's a great idea. I think you should be asking these questions. How is it that my payment is so low, and things like that? So that's a big difference with resale and new homes. You have to make sure that that first year, make sure that they tax you on an estimated value of the home, and that can be done. They can kind of give you a really rough estimate of what it's going to be appraised at, and they start to charge you for that amount so that you don't get a payment shock the following year. All right, guys, I'm almost done. The next topic is inspections. As you guys know, inspections are not required but are highly recommended. You should get an inspection with a new home and a resale home. Why a new home? I know these builders are very experienced, they know what they're doing, but a lot of times it's just human error. Sometimes things happen. Certain things were not supervised, and maybe there was a problem with the building codes. Anything, it could be anything. I think it's highly recommended that you get inspections with resale and new homes. With new homes, inspections are probably going to be really great. Your list is not going to be that long. The great thing is that you can actually submit that inspection report straight to the builder, all the items that need to be fixed. And this is great because they don't like going to closing with any pending items. They definitely don't want the buyer to back out of the deal, and so 100% they're going to take care of all those items. The difference with resale, when you're doing an inspection on a resale home, a lot of times you will definitely see an inspection report with 20 or more items. This is a given. There's so many new rules. For example, one of the biggest one that I've heard recently is that in 2018, I believe, or 17, it might have been 17, 2017, a rule came out that now you have to ground the gas meter. So we're kind of used to grounding our electrical box. We put the ground rod, we make sure that it's connected, and we're protected from any lightning, make the home catch fire. So now, as an extra preventative, we are required to ground the gas meter. And so this is something new, and if the house wasn't built recently, that item is going to come out. Now, the way you address it, you'll have to talk to your realtor about it. There are tons of codes that come out every single year, and those inspectors really love adding these things to your inspection report. They want to show you that they did their job. Inspectors are really great, by the way, and they'll find everything. Now, here with resale, what's going to happen is you're going to sit with your realtor, and she's going to look at the report with you, and you're going to make a list of possibly 10 to max 15 items, the most important items. If you submit that report completely to the seller and say, hey, I want everything fixed, chances are, I'm telling you, chances are high that they will reject it and not want to do anything. So instead of upsetting them and asking them to take care of all the items on the report, you're just going to make a list of the most important items and say, hey, I'm willing to move forward with the sale, but I need these items to be addressed. Now, even then, it's not guaranteed that they're going to take care of anything. It always depends on the situation. For example, there were other offers. The seller could say, hey, I have other backup offers, and if you don't want to take it as is, I'm just going to go ahead and choose another offer. So that's where the negotiations come in between the realtors. We get emotionally attached sometimes to homes, and we hate to hear things like that. So our job as realtors is just kind of to be the mediator, talk to the other realtors, say, hey, look, what can we do? This is the, help your seller understand that these items need to be fixed. We'll just try to work something out. And so that's another difference between resale and new homes concerning inspections. Okay, guys, there's a ton of other things that are different, but I'm going to go with the last one for this video. For more information, definitely call me. The last one I'm going to choose is actually the biggest difference between resale and new homes, and it's concerning a MUD tax, Municipal Utility District. So this is what happens when you buy a new home. Let's say a builder is interested in building homes in a certain area. So they go out, they buy the land, there's nothing on it, no utilities, nothing. To help you understand, these builders, what they do, get something called a bond. So they borrow money to be able to put utilities for that whole neighborhood. And they do. They get this approved and they start to build, they start putting all the utilities, making sure everything's available for all the new homes. But what they end up doing, they end up adding this debt to your taxes. If you actually look in detail at your taxes, you're going to see a MUD tax. This means how much are you paying to be in that neighborhood. Eventually, this MUD tax will go away and you won't have to be paying it anymore, but it does take a while. But when you're in a new home, you are guaranteed to pay this MUD tax. And so that's a big difference. When you have a resale, there's a possibility that it has been already paid off for that neighborhood, or the house is older so it's long gone and you don't have to pay it. This does make a difference in your monthly payment because you could either be where taxes are kind of low, or you could be where taxes are kind of high, and the reason they're high is because you're paying this MUD tax. And so for more information on MUD tax, please call me. It can get really complicated, but I just try to keep it as simple as possible, but definitely give me a call. This completes my video. Like I said, there's a lot more differences. For more information, please feel free to contact me. For now, I hope to help you. I did address a few topics that are very important, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss videos just like this. I make them super educational, and people who watch me regularly do enjoy them, and so I hope you enjoy it as well. I would love to hear from you on this video and let me know what you prefer. Do you prefer new homes or resale homes? Maybe you could give me a reason why and I could share it, and other people that are looking to buy can see your comments and make a decision based off what people really like, the new homes or resale homes, and what the benefits are for each one. If you're currently experiencing this, then you're a great source of information. All right guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you next Monday for my newest video.